It's less than 24 hours to the February 25th presidential and National Assembly elections. The elections that is projected to have a high vote turnout, I should say. So what should be the key closing message to stakeholders like INEC, electorate candidates, and security operatives at the last few moments of the election? For tips on last-minute election preparation, what stakeholders must know before heading to the polls and during voting, we are now joined by Mike Igini, former INEC Resident Electoral Commissioner for Akwa Ibom State. I mean, what should people know really about vote buying and all of that, coupled with what we just heard about some arrests being made already and people trying to manipulate elections and buy votes and all of that? You know, what should the voters themselves know, the basic things? Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, Rufai, Dr. Abati, and Elsie. But first and foremost, as part of my closing engagement with Arise Television and other stations that have provided the opportunity for us to educate Nigeria, is to thank the management of Arise, particularly our chairman, the Duke of Delta, for making this platform available since last year. Now, we have less than 24 hours to the very all-important elections that we are going to have in our country. We are very optimistic, and as I've said before, that optimism is natural to human beings, based on what we have on ground at the moment. The first thing that people need to know is for all Nigerians with your permanent voters card to go to cvr.admin.inec Nigeria, and it will take you straight to your polling unit where you are going to vote. Please identify that first. Number two is that this election, whether on the basis of 93.5 million registered or on the basis of 87.2 PVC collected, that we cannot be too sure on account of some of the things we have found in some places with PVC. What is important is that at the end of the election, in each of the 176,606 polling units where this election will take place, it is at the end of the poll, a new register, I repeat, a new register will emerge of that particular polling unit, showing those who actually came and accredited by virtue of Section 51 of the 2022 Act that repealed the rigging provision of Section 53 of the 2010 Act. So don't worry yourself about the total number of those on the register. Don't worry yourself about those who collected PVC. What is now important, because we cannot really give an account anymore. I mean, you see what happened in the Newe, in other areas, how they got this PVC and all of that. And of course, people in those areas, the staff from the office of the commission there, we have electoral officers, they must give account. That is a matter for another day. But what is clear for Nigerian people is that at the end of the poll, there will be a new register in each polling unit. Furthermore, which are clear methods today as I close on this presidential and national assembly election, it is that this election is going to be on its own class. And that is that power has been returned to Nigerian people. The Nigerian people is now on the center of our democracy, who are going to make the decision, because candidates who have been campaigning are from tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the day of Nigerian people to make that decision, because the candidates are now at the periphery of election day process in Nigeria on account of what have been developed. Number two, it is that this election is going to be a different one in the sense that the BVAS, contrary to what people hear, is a real game changer. There's no room anymore for sharing of unused ballot. BVAS and ended the fraudulent practice, the organized crime at polling unit of sharing unused ballot. No more unused ballot. The BVAS has enthroned the principle of one person, one vote. Number three, At the end of the poll, the image or the Form EC8A will not be snapped with the BVAS like a PDF. You cannot alter it. It will be uploaded live. It is expected by now, Dr. Abati, that all candidates, political parties have set up their situation room so that their party agent can commence immediately the process of sending to their respective situation room every result that will be uploaded and duplicate given to party. Remember, this election, just as you do what you call a bimodal process of accreditation, you also do what you call a dual process of collation. What they will send and what is going to be manually, because Form EC8A duplicate will be given for every party agent, in which case the party are likely to even see the result of the election. Nigeria generally, you are going to see polling unit by polling unit result. There will be no tension at all.
All right.
The challenge before us now, Rufai, is that you have the law, you have processes. Processes and laws are not self-executory. They require human beings to do so. Where we are is with respect to the secured environment.
Mr.
I am
Igini.
very delighted.
Yes, Mr. Igini, thank you. We have a very short time this morning, as you would imagine. But I just wanted to touch on a bit further the BVAS. So whilst we had the Director of Voter Education and Publicity join us earlier today, and I talked about the fact that BVAS was a game changer. So it was going to totally do away with overvoting. However, then people are quick to cite the Osun example. How do we prevent such scenarios from happening again, despite this, and you have also said, your strong dependence or strong faith in BVAS to eliminate any type or form of overvoting. How will we prevent an Osun situation?
Essay, on this program, we have spoken about BVAS over and over again. And I was very clear that attempts to want to discredit a major technology had failed woefully. BVAS have been used for over 105 elections. Nothing has happened. Whatever they say about Osun, I'm sure that by the time the Court of Appeals of the Supreme Court finally take a decision, that will be clear. So some of the views we have expressed with respect to that will be very clear. The BVAS, there is nothing anybody can do. And I've said, riverine area, anywhere, upland where you talk all of that, it is compulsory, everybody must go. I think that the area we should be focusing on this morning as quickly as possible, because we should deal with that. Not politicians commit, of course, campaigns have ended. All right. Now, is the fact that security is very key here. The Inspector General of Police is the head, is the lead agency for this exercise. And I'm very delighted that yesterday he read out the operational order. The operational order is very important. On this program, I told Nigerians, having been part of those who delivered the lecture on the 2023 election security in Imo State, where the president he came and present, to the fact that as from on tomorrow, of course, the operational order will start at from 12 midnight to tomorrow 6 p.m. What is important, and the president is going to lead that tomorrow. You remember I told you on this program that 48 hours to the election, 24 hours to the election, that there is something that has to be done, and they have commenced already. The president will go to the polling unit with just his orderly and minimal security in his wherever he's voting. No VIP movement, very important. If we are able to deal with VIP movement, the 98% of our problem will be resolved. So tomorrow, as already directed, I'm just reinforcing, re-echoing what has been said. Any VIP, whether you are a governor, you are a senator, you are a House of Rep, once you vote, after voting, you go back to your home. You already have your agent at polling unit, at ward, at all level. There's no room for what we call political experience, moving from one place to another. That must not happen. This election, Dr. Abati, the decision that we're going to make tomorrow is very important for the future of this country. It's so important that all of you going out there tomorrow, have it in mind that no matter the shenanigans that you hear about, nothing will change your will.
Well,
Power is back to you.
Mr. Igini, there is a major issue that I would like to address. You recall that in previous elections, we had cases of political parties complaining about their logo being omitted from the ballot paper. In 2019, Labour Party in Ogun State complained. All Grassroots Alliance complained. I think Hope Democratic Party also complained. So we've had cases like that in the past. This time around, the Labour Party in Lagos State is complaining that the party logo has been omitted from the papers from the ballot papers for National Assembly elections. And they are saying that this is unacceptable. After all, Section 79 of the Electoral Act recognizes symbols of political parties. Is this an indication that INEC has not learned from the past? And secondly, what remedy is available to the Labour Party ahead of the elections or after?
Dr. Abati, that would be very strange because, of course, this allegation about just maybe it's a one-off thing. If it's a one-off thing, where we take it that in any activity that involves human being, perfection can be out of it, but it's expected that that should not happen. If that is the case, immediately that should be escalated to the commission. But in any case, how were they able to see? You know, I mean, I'm not going to doubt anybody right now because I saw it from video making around, and I've asked with some people in the commission, they have not even seen the ballot. So I don't know if for any reason they have seen the ballot and it's an issue already seen where a stone seen coming should not blind the eye. It is for the commission to quickly, as much as possible, to ensure that that is done. But again, Dr. Abati, very quickly here, it is that this election is going to be decided by the youth of Nigeria. We want to see whether they are going to betray the challenge and the expectation of their own time, because 70-something plus million of 93 are youth. All those who are going to man the polling unit, Dr. Abati, 707,000 out of the 1 million, they are going to be youth of this country. Therefore, we want to see those of us are from 50 years and above. We can only go there and vote. The future of this country right now, tomorrow's election is in their hands. Far more important is the provision of Section 134, subsection 2B of the Constitution. It is to say, it to the fact that no presidential candidate can be declared a winner in this election without having 25% in the Federal Capital Territory. That is very important for the whole world to know that tomorrow's election, wherever to be finally declared, apart from having 25% in 24 states of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Federal Capital Territory is like a compulsory question. You can answer all that question. But Federal Capital Territory, without having 25%, you go nowhere. This is important. And finally, the broad outline of the 21st century, Dr. Abati, is clear. It offers opportunity for people who can work together, live together, and give not only to themselves, but their future generations, whose faces we are yet to see, whose name we may never know, who through a democratic process, in a free, fair, and credible election, will be able to give not only to themselves, but future generations, whose faces we are yet to see, whose name we never know, all of whom must say that in our own time, we did what was necessary. Wish Nigeria
on that note, Mr. Igini, would like to thank you very much for joining us.